life's like a movie. Cause mama keep falling in love. My life's like a movie. And I'ma keep smoking and drugs. My life's like a movie. Ow, she fucks with nothing but thugs. My life's like a movie. Ow.
Welcome back to the Why So Serious podcast. Your host Brandon and Rashanii are back, and today we are here to recap Tag, starring Jeremy Renner, Hannibal Buress. No, Hannibal Buress wasn't in this.
Yes, he was.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Yeah, Hannibal Buress.
He was the black friend.
Yep. Ed Helms. Yeah, it was a good cast. A small group of former classmates organize an elaborate annual game of tag that requires some to travel all over the country. Yeah, what'd you think about this?
I thought it was
Are you thinking the same thing I'm thinking?
Yeah.
I thought this movie was white as shit.
It only gets worse when you realize that they had to put a black person into the movie. Hannibal Buress' character wasn't real.
Yeah, of course not.
and living where I lived, I came up in the Northwest, so I'm looking at the area like my godfather grew up there. There ain't no black folks there. And the whole time the movie was going on, I was like, black folks wouldn't have done that. Black folks wouldn't have gone there. Black folks wouldn't have done that. And then it turns out, because at the end of the movie, they're dumb enough to show the real people, and there's no black person in it.
Of course. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I can generally get behind turning a white man into a black person. I'm generally for that. But in this film, the most ridiculous part of the film is the fact that I'm watching it the whole time, and I'm like, there's no way they could get away with this with a black person. Like, there's no possible way Hannibal Buress' character in real life could do any of this shit and not get fucking locked up. Like, they're in a country club at one point, just rolling across the fucking golf course, driving, speeding past people, tearing shit up. There was a story a few months ago of a black woman getting arrested for not playing golf too fast. You telling me this black dude's gonna be doing all this shit in the golf course and somebody ain't saying shit? Like, that part was just too ridiculous to me. But I thought the movie was relatively enjoyable. I thought the comedy was good. I thought the punchlines were good. And I couldn't believe this was actually real though. Like it's just the whitest shit ever.
This is I enjoyed the movie for what it was, which was the fact that I hadn't had an opportunity to see a good comedy in a while since probably Cock Blockers.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, I'm in Cock Blockers and Game Night, which were like back to back for me. So I was like, I need another white movie fix. I need another fanciful, no cops are going to try and shoot you at the end of the movie, white movie, nothing bad happens for all their bad repercussions. But goddamn, these white people ruined everything for a game of tag. Like, nigga, grow up. Like, black folks, this is how you know black folks wouldn't have done that, because no black person would still be playing tag into the age of 30. Somebody would have been like, nigga, if you don't grow up and go to college, if you don't stop with this stupid ass game, his wife would have been like, what the fuck do you mean you're taking a month off from work to go play tag, nigga?
Now, one of the realer things on here that I can totally believe is, listen, if I was a writer doing some boring ass story on some CEO, and then his friend shows up dressed like a fucking janitor just to tag him, and then you find out they've been playing tag for 30 years, you're damn right I'd be writing that shit. Can you imagine like writing that shit about some CEO in real life? I would absolutely write that shit. But the idea of him playing tag is so ridiculous. When you watch the movie, I'm watching it, I'm just like, this is so ridiculous. And the length, like, I want to know, I kind of want to read the article because I want to see how much they embellished the story, because I know there's some embellishment on it, but I want to know how much they embellished it, because I just want to know the length to which these dudes went to tag each other in actual real life, because in the movie they do some absurd shit.
I'm befuddled. I think that's the best way to do it. I think that's the best way to say it. They've been playing this game for 30 years. 30 years. Like, I am in my late 30s. They've been playing this game for almost as long as I've been alive, and there's one motherfucker that they never been able to tag. Like, are you serious? Like, and that's why the game is still going, because this one person was untaggable.
I mean, he is Hawkeye.
And can we talk about Hawkeye's amazing arms and his Sherlock Holmesian style of counterattacking everything that they do? Jeremy Renner, for those of y'all who don't know, broke his arms. They on the Dream Team, I say arms. So I'm trying to be more mindful of saying arms. Jeremy Renner broke his arms. I feel white when I say that. And so instead of just finding somebody else to do the role, you know, maybe there's tons of white actors out there. Shit, the niggas from the rest of the folks from The Hangover could have done it. Bradley Cooper could have done it.
He wasn't subjecting himself to this.
He might have. I mean, yeah, when he's not Rocket Raccoon, what's he doing with his life?
That is true.
But
that's true.
Instead, they gave Jeremy Renner, they had the brilliant idea to spend money to give this motherfucker CGI arms.
Is that what that was?
Yes. So this nigga's wearing green arm bands all the way through the movie, so then they can make his arms CGI, so then he could do his little acts, which are like total acts of violence to avoid being tagged. Can we talk about taking this shit a little bit too seriously?
Nigga, like, what? They about to waterboard a random dude to find his location.
This is shit that black folks, they would have had us on Fox News like, these thugs are playing tag. Wait, that doesn't work together, but still, they're black. Let's hang them. But no, these white people just, and okay. There are stories that happened at the beginning that didn't follow through to the end, and that got on me, like, badly. Like Randy and Callahan's mom flirting back and forth.
Oh yeah, yep.
And then
I thought they were gonna fuck.
Me too. I thought it was gonna be like Stifler's mom or something, and then and I'm not looking for it. I'm just saying, like, they had that as a part of the story out of nowhere, where they're just like flirting hard. Like, this isn't even like light flirting. This is like, I'ma suck your dick under the pool table type flirting. Like, it is overt as shit. And then they just drop it. Like, okay, you know, we had this moment where his mom is down the clown, and let's just move on, and nothing ever happens. And
Sable's mental health.
Yeah, never goes anywhere at all. They talk about it. He says that y'all don't care about my mental health, and then they prove it by never discussing it again.
And it never comes back up, although he was mad weird. I will say this. Hannibal Buress is the perfect casting for somebody for me to believe he would hang out with a bunch of white people.
And not give a fuck about what they're doing.
That is perfect casting.
Because anybody else, any other black person would have been like, nigga, I'm going home. I got black people in my family that won't let me hang out with y'all anymore. I'm gone. Yeah, nah. Like, flying from state to state to play tag.
Listen, they not just state to state, like far states. Like, they went from Denver. I forget, where was Bob at? I forget where Bob was at. He was in some big city, and then they went to Denver to get chili, and then they went to Portland to get Sable, and then they went to Spokane, I guess where they're all from, in Washington. Mm-hmm. Like, that is some good to be white shit right there. It's because that's a lot of money. And then the wife took off too, or maybe she don't work. I don't know which one, but Hogan's wife took off with her, Anna, and she's super intense about the fucking game. And she can't even play until the end where they make an amendment.
Yeah, she scared me. She like literally, she's one of them white folks who would like. I noticed the movie but since I know it's based on real life, I don't want to run into her real life person because that's the type of person who would call the cops on my daughter for selling water outside of our house and shit. Like,
yeah, that is
real
exactly
talk.
how she is.
Her character was like just so.
She is ultra. May I speak to the manager?
Exactly. But they're gonna come from the left. I'm gonna dodge 2 steps and then I'm gonna flip them. That's easy. Here comes the next person. Oh, he's always thinking about himself. He's thinking about himself right now. I'm just gonna do this, and then this is gonna happen. Perfect. And then you're like, okay, this dude must be like special ops or something like that. No, this nigga run a gym.
He runs a gym and he's got alcoholic issues.
Right. Like, wait, how are you a tactician like this from playing tag? Nigga, my kids play Call of Duty. They ain't going to war. Nigga, what? You aren't. It was just so. I couldn't. And they really want me to believe that there was a dude that was really like that was just like countering all their stuff. And fuck his fiance for pulling that whole fake out.
God, she was horrible.
All the way through. There was nothing redeemable about her.
Absolutely
at
nothing.
all. And then when she pulled that at the end, I was like, you know what? You're canceled. You are just gone. Period. That was horrible.
She is a horrible human being. So for those of you who don't know, she basically
she faked a miscarriage.
She faked it. Well, I was going to say she faked a pregnancy in order to fake a miscarriage. So she had this long con of like drinking Shirley Temples and shit so everybody could think she's pregnant, only so that if shit got tight for her husband in the tag game, she could fake a miscarriage so they could like time out so he could get out of there. And listen, I'm at the end of the movie, I'm basically like fucking Jeremy Renner's character. I'm watching and I'm like, oh, Hogan's faking this shit. He don't got fucking cancer. He's really gonna go to the faking cancer shit to tag this nigga. He's really faking. And then when he wasn't faking, I was like, oh. Well, that kind of fell flat.
Yeah, I know that nigga had cancer and all, but that was literally the lamest way to end that movie. I just invited you all here this year because this might be my last year doing this. So please let me tag you.
I know you've been undefeated
for 30 years, but please let me tag you because I'm dying.
Gave him a pity tag.
Right? And then all of a sudden, all of these grown-ass white people are running through a hospital playing tag.
including the writer.
The reporter. So now there's no objectivity because now she's playing too, and the wife is playing, and the one that what's her face? Shoot, I just call her miscarriage woman. Susan. Her name was Susan. Susan. She was playing too, and everybody's like, yeah, it's all gravity. Nah, man. Y'all done ruined a wedding.
Look, can you imagine a black wedding and some motherfucker in the crowd running up when you now kiss the bride and some motherfucker running towards the altar, diving and at the fucking groom. You know how I know it was a movie and fake? Because even in a white wedding, the bride's mom would have lost her fucking shit at that. She would have fucking lost it. Even in a white wedding, she would have fucking lost it. And everybody in that wedding was just standing there like, what? And I'm like, this is so ridiculous. Who are these people?
When I dove at you and I missed, that's when I knew I had a tumor.
This is such a Two Americas movie. It's such a Two Americas movie.
Like what? What the fuck? Look, okay. First of all, you have a job as a dentist that you quit to become a janitor to tag your friend.
Well, actually, he was a dentist because to me, he's the same guy from Hangover. So to me, this is just a continuation. So he was a dentist, and then he turned into a veterinarian, and then he quit to become a janitor so he could play tag.
I mean, the movie had funny parts, But it was just, I was just brought down by the fact that A, somebody really pulled this shit off, and B, what the fuck are y'all doing with your lives? Like, every other movie that we see is fanciful. Like, every other movie we see is made up. So we're able to laugh at the stuff they're getting into because it's not real life. This shit was real life. And as a grown ass man, I've never said, I haven't said this in a long time. Let me be honest. I haven't said this in a really long time. As a grown ass man, I'm looking at these men like, what the fuck are y'all doing with your lives? How the fuck are you able to do this? Like, what? Who thought this was acceptable?
I thought this movie had some funny points. I thought the movie was pretty funny. It flowed. It went really quick.
Oh yeah.
It was an enjoyable film. However, this movie would have been better if it wasn't based on a true story. Because the whole time I'm watching this, I'm watching it from a lens of how the fuck is this real? And so, cause like the first, like Rashanii said, they didn't show that one of the characters wasn't actually black to the end of the movie. So the whole movie I'm watching this, I'm like, there's no way a black person got away with all this shit. Like I'm constantly saying that as I'm watching this film, and then I'm like, how are these people successful? Like they all, except Chili, he was kind of a bum, but the rest of them were like successful people, and I'm like, this is white privilege at its peak. These motherfuckers can take off work from at least weeks at a time, if not a month at a time, run around, destroy shit in public places, and all for a game of tag that they do every year for 30 years. That is like peak whiteness. But there's not a lot to talk about this plot. That's basically the whole film.
That's the whole plot. We literally just talked about the whole fucking movie.
What do you give this film?
Out of what?
10.
Out of 5?
Out of 10.
I need to know. This is important to me.
Out of 10.
Out of 10, cool. 6. 7.
Yeah,
7.
I'll say 7. It's worth going to see it. If you can, it's worth going to see it because it is funny. You will laugh. If you have Movie Pass, it's even better. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I would pay full price for this, especially not after.
This is one of the movies that's going to show up on HBO in a couple of weeks, and it'll just be there. This will be like an afternoon HBO movie. That's what this is. Absolutely. Really. An afternoon free weekend preview, Showtime. No, this movie wouldn't make the stars. Showtime. It's the free preview Showtime movie.
It's like a less funny Role Models. Like I can watch Role Models all the time and laugh.
Yes.
I can turn this on and laugh, but I don't want to see it as much as I would want to see Role Models. That's kind of how.
And for me personally, it's like I've seen this. It was Saw. I don't need to see it again. There's certain movies. Yep. This one ain't one of them.
Exactly. I give it a 7 as well. But that's a quick one for you guys. We got a couple more reviews that'll be coming out really quickly. We're doing Jurassic World and Superfly, so make sure you check those out. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, anywhere you get your podcast at. Make sure you follow Rashanii on Twitter at Rashanii. No, is that it?
Yeah,
Rashanii. That's right. And listen to the Single Simulcast. That's on iTunes and Libsyn and singlesimulcast.com. So thank you guys for listening, and we'll be back soon.
Okay. They're